appears that the Redskins get the 5th down.
And the cat is elusive. He's walking. He's walking to the 3. He's at the 2. Field, and the cat runs into the end zone. That is a touchdown.
Snap, placement, kick by Hartley, and it is good! It's good! It's good! Pigs have flown. Hell is frozen over. The Saints are on their way to the Super Bowl.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the 5th down. I'm the captain.
I'm Tootsie.
All right, guys.
Yes.
We know it's been a while. Things have been kind of crazy. I think the last time we talked, I don't even remember. But since then, Jarvis Landry, Tyrann Mathieu both joined the Saints. Saints are in OTA.
That was our last one.
You know, things are working out good. Coach Dennis Allen's talking good things about Michael Thomas. So it seems like everything with that relationship is headed in the right direction, which the Saints are going to need it for. Give Jameis a guy to throw to, between Jarvis and Thomas. With Kamara being out, we don't know how long that suspension is going to be, but he's going to miss some time.
Less than Deshaun Watson?
Well, I mean,
we're going
to talk about that.
I love
we can bring that in.
I love the Deshaun Watson suspension because it literally limits every other suspension this year. There will be nothing ridiculous.
I have some more theories about the Deshaun Watson stuff, and we can break right into that, if you want.
We might as well
go right into it. Okay, so Deshaun Watson. More things have come out about him since he signed this massive $235 million fully guaranteed contract with the Cleveland Browns. Couple more cases, I think 4 more hit so far. And there's a USA Today report or New York Times report, I don't remember exactly the paper, that said there could be up to 66 different people coming forward in the coming month or so against Deshaun Watson. And, there's also some implications that the Houston Texans knew a lot more that was going on about it.
They're being brought in. They're being brought in as a defendant because they're being sued because they knew shit about it was going on. And I mean, look, it's very clear that Deshaun Watson just likes massages. That's his thing.
I think he's real happy about the endings on the massage.
I agree. I just think that's his thing. Is like massages. Hey, like everybody, you got your thing, right? You got your kink, you got your thing, and his is massages. Okay,
he's real happy about the ending, but
but then he gets it from random people and he's I saw the Bob Kraft thing and I'm like, oh yeah.
I mean, maybe he should have went to the Patriots, right? Then he'd be right up there with Bob Kraft, and they could figure that out, and owner star QB. Make it happen, right? I mean, they share some of the same things that they like to do. But, so, I mean, honestly, this thing with Deshaun Watson is not going to go away, okay? No. Everyone was expecting him to pay his way out of it and it go away, and that's just not going to happen. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, this gets way worse before it gets better, right? It's like us being home dealing with a hurricane. It gets worse before it gets better. And he has the same thing. He has a hurricane of masseuses coming at him, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. And for the Browns, it gets way worse, right?
I mean, this is developing into a very hard situation.
I mean, it's a stroke of luck that all this is taking place. But the Browns have a few options here. They're not totally handcuffed with Deshaun Watson, right? Because of all of these new allegations coming out, there is a clause in his contract where they can void it, and he's gone. They get the money back, but that's it. They get the money back.
Yeah.
They don't get the draft picks back. That's gone. The only way the Texans don't have these draft picks now is if the league steps in and says you're going to lose your next 3 first-round picks, your third and your fourth, and you're done, and you don't have them.
I think that if it can be proven that the Texans knew more than they did, and
that's what I'm saying. But they can't give those picks back. Those picks belong to them now.
This might be the first time, like if it all shakes out that way, it might be the first time you see an NFL team suing an NFL team over draft picks.
Right, and then the worst thing about it is, right, so you're the Browns, you gave up your $365 million. $335 million, my bad, $235 million. I keep saying the wrong number. You gave that up. You alienated your franchise-saving QB because you can be as mad as you want about Baker. You can talk everything you want about Baker Mayfield. He saved that franchise from where they were at, right? I mean, they were bottom of the barrel. They were losing. They hadn't won a game in like 2 seasons. He got them their first win in like almost 3 full complete seasons. In 2018 when he came into the league as a rookie, he got them their first win in a long time, brought them to the playoffs, 1 game away from being in the Super Bowl, the AFC Championship, I'm sorry. And then they shit on him, right? And I kind of don't, I'm not going to say I don't blame them because, us as Saints fans, we were kind of hoping that maybe Deshaun Watson would fall in our lap for the right price. Finding out more about what we know now, I'm glad that didn't happen.
I told you. What did I say? I said I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah, and I feel like the Saints did a lot more homework, but I feel like the Browns just went up to him and be like, hey, dude, you do that? And he was like, nah. They were like, all right, cool.
That sounds right.
Like, I feel like that was how they're.
And it's the first max contract in the NFL, and I have a huge. The more I think about this,
it's a huge precedent.
I hate it. I hate it because no longer is your star quarterback going to be beholden to his performance, right? Your team rises and falls with a guy who gets paid no matter what.
Yeah. How many years was the contract for?
4.
4 years. So for the next 4 years, you have Deshaun Watson handcuffed them, for $235 million, and there's not anything that can be done about it. He can come out and throw 40 for 40 interceptions, 40 touchdowns, be worse than Jameis ever was.
He could not play a single game. He could literally just.
And unless they're able to void the contract and get out of it at this point, they're on the hook for that $230 million, no matter what.
And I have a problem too because think about it this way: look at this behavior. Okay, this is not the behavior of somebody that deserves a max contract. This kind of behavior is going to result in bad things happening when he realizes how much control he has.
Yeah, but for him, sorry, that was my dog.
So loud.
For him, this is not a behavior that began in Houston. This is something that's followed him from college to now, right? I mean, you don't just develop something this crazy in that period of time. Like, that was definitely something he's been doing for a very long time. And maybe they were able to keep it more quiet in college than they're able to in the NFL because the Texans broke the story, when he said, I'm not playing unless I get more money, or whatever the terms of him sitting out that entire season was. But this is just not good at all for the NFL. And if you're a fan of the Browns, it's just so detrimental to anything that can take place in the league right now.
And then you're isolating Baker Mayfield. So if everything does hit the fan, you have no backup.
Well, I think the Browns are still thinking that Baker's going to play for them. Like, if Deshaun Watson's on suspension this year, which he probably will be, which he should be, if not banned from the league, like that's another thing. If the Browns go past that date and they can't void that contract and he gets suspended indefinitely, taken from the league, they still have to pay him.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the guaranteed means. You can't get away from that. That money is gone. And
I think the pressure is going to be on the league now for a harsher sentence because the more people are coming out.
Yeah.
So
and not to mention
I only see this ending badly for the Browns.
Oh yeah, no, it does not end well at all.
I don't see a good ending here.
I said this from the beginning, and that's what scared me about the Saints when we were talking about this, was we would have to give up so many draft picks in order to pull this out. And then you handcuff your team without being able to bring anybody in for the future, right? So they're already handcuffed to him, and for the next 2 seasons, they can't bring in a franchise quarterback if they finish at the bottom of the league because they don't have the ability to draft one. They gave that away. Right? So you're going to have to depend on an unproven rookie in the later rounds, or you're going to have to go out and spend more money, which they don't have because they just gave it all to the guy that got suspended or will be suspended for the year, or not even in the league anymore. You gave all that money away and you don't have that available to pay that free agent to get him in there. And who's going to want to go play for that contract? For that team?
Nobody.
Like
Nobody.
Really? I mean, you set yourself up to look bad right now. So the only way the Browns can recover from this is if Deshaun's completely taken out the league and they on the hook for this money, is they have to fire everybody. I mean, the GM doesn't get to stay, coaches, they're all gone. Like, you have to eliminate that whole front office, coaching staff, everything has to leave. Because a player is not going to want to go there. I mean, not a huge free agent anyway. I mean, after how you shit on Baker Mayfield, I don't see anybody wanting to play there.
I don't think it's going to end well in terms of how they're going to do it. And they just did it, I think, today or yesterday. They just signed David Njoku to a 4-year, $58 million deal. Like, that's top 5 tight end money. And I mean,
on a guy who spent a lot of time on injured reserve.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't see Baker Mayfield to Deshaun Watson. Yeah, that's an upgrade talent-wise. But I don't see that bringing David Njoku to Rob Gronkowski status.
I mean, he had
or Darren Waller or whatever.
I mean, let's just talk. I mean, he had 148 receptions in 5 seasons, right? Last year, 36 catches for 475 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's not horrible, but that's not.
Yeah, but 30 receptions a season is not top 5 or top 7 money.
But you see what he's going to say is, well, Baker Mayfield. That's everybody's scapegoat in the Browns organization is Baker Mayfield. And you played a guy who was hurt. When you have a guy like Nick Chubb who can run the crap out of the ball, you went and you relied on a guy with a bum shoulder and a bum ankle and said,
look,
hey, this is good.
He has never had more than 4 touchdowns in a season. He has never had his biggest receiving season, and this is where his stats are completely – I mean, he was hurt in 2019, so take that out of the equation. But 2020 he had 19 receptions, 21 was 36, 32 in his rookie year, and then 56 in his second year. But he still, with 56 receptions, was only able to pull off 600 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah. Like, I'd say he's a decent tight end. He's a starting tight end, but he's not top money tight end.
No, I think this is just another Browns move, and that's what I'm gonna call it. This is a Brown move. Like you just
they're rolling dice right now, and
maybe that's why they're called the Browns, because they like to shit the bed. And
Amber Heard knows.
Yeah, I mean, wow, way to be topical. You brought in a little Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing in there. Johnny Depp, first man to win an argument with his wife.
It was human fecal matter.
But I mean, the Browns are being the epitome of how not to run a football team, and you can't alienate your starting quarterback. However you want to make it work out. You have to have that dialogue, right? And I feel like they failed by not opening that dialogue with Baker from the beginning. Like, hey, we're gonna go after Deshaun Watson. It may hurt your feelings, but this is the move we're gonna make, and we feel like we have to do this for our organization. Now, we still like you, so if that doesn't work out, we're gonna work something out. We're gonna extend your contract. We're gonna do something. We're gonna make it work for you, right? That's the conversation you have with him. You don't blindside him by being like, one day he's a starting quarterback and next day he's trash that you're trying to throw out, and then you badmouth the crap out of him and you refuse to trade him at this point. Like, that's your bad.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, only the Browns can lose 2 starting quarterbacks and give away all their draft picks and not have any money. And this is only a Browns thing to do.
And I mean, look, you're not – it's not that they have a bad roster, right? It's just that they're taking such a risk.
Their roster is
but they're not going to be able to keep this roster.
Well, no, because there's no money to give out anymore.
And I mean, look, you've got on the defensive side is where they're going to definitely lose people next year. I mean, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, just those two alone, that's unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have not a great secondary, but they have a decent secondary.
Yeah, but Greg Newsome and Denzel Ward are pretty damn good.
They have some decent linebackers. Their defense is set. Their offense is pretty decent. I mean,
Koromora is young guy. He's going to be doing Anthony Walker. It's great. It's just you've got a great defense, and the Browns. That's always been a strength of that team is the defense, always.
Yeah, and then not to mention you have Nick Chubb, right? You have a pretty good
you got Nick Chubb, line. Kareem Hunt. You bring back Johnson for next year, right? You got Amari Cooper, Peoples-Jones, and then some combination of Davian Bell, Javon Wims, Trayvon Harris.
And we were just shitting on him, but you have David Njoku.
You do have David Njoku. I mean, yeah.
He's a good tight end. Like we're not saying
he's a starting tight end. I'm just saying he's not worth like $15 million
guaranteed. You know, I mean that's insane on the amounts of money that they're.
That's too much.
Flying out the Browns organization right now.
And I was reading something today that the owners were pushing for a separate salary cap for high end players, and I'm not sure I agree with that.
I would prefer maybe more something like the NBA salary cap with a luxury tax, where if you go over this amount, you do that, then you can do it.
No.
But you have to listen. You have to put some kind of cap on it somewhere. Like you can't go over this much, you know, because then you're gonna have players doing whatever. And I mean, there has to be something.
I mean, they can't have max contract. Cannot be a situation in NFL. 17 games. Is not.
Oh, I don't agree with the fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah, it matters too much to put the entirety of the games in the players' hands like that, and that's what max contracts do.
You know, good for the players. I mean, good for the guys who got it. But I mean, I just don't agree with this.
This is. I think this is a 1-year thing, and I think it's going to end kind of like the Sam Bradford, Jamarcus Russell situation ended, that obscene rookie contract.
Yeah,
practice.
I mean, this what's going on right now with these max contracts and these fully guaranteed deals reminds me of WCW, like wrestling back in the '90s when they brought in Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Right? They gave them these insane contracts, and it ended up killing that corporation. And that's the same thing you have working now.
Yeah.
Inside the Browns organization and a few other places in the NFL who doled out these guaranteed contracts. And I think this is bad for the league, you know, very much so, Russell.
Of course.
Just the same as, you know, the NIL rights in the college.
That quagmire.
Doing the same thing.
They got to close they got to close it. They have to deal with the transfer portal.
Well, they have to be smarter about it, right? And you have to be able to. You have to be able to punish teams who are going to go in and they're going to
buy all the players.
Well, I mean, there's. I can't think of the word right now. Why can't I think of the word? But you know, coaches are calling up players like, "Hey, if you enter the transfer portal, I'm gonna bring you here, and you're going to be guaranteed this, and this, and they're going to get the money." Yep. Tampering. That's what I'm talking about. The tampering that's going on with it. You know,
well, I mean, look, like UCLA is just going to be able to say like, "Hey," or you know, USC is going to just get the market that is Los Angeles.
You know, Coach Prime is doing the same thing. I mean, he's out there calling the players themselves like, "Hey, go into the transfer portal and come to me, and we can get you this kind of money." You know,
I think there needs to be, if you go into the transfer portal, there's a 1-year pause on NIL. If you get an NIL, you can't go into the transfer portal. I think that's fair.
They have to find a way to regulate it.
Yeah, you got to commit. But in terms of the NFL, I think a positional salary cap may be the answer. I was thinking about this. Because if let's say you have $50 million for your quarterbacks, $80 million for your wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like figure that 20.
I mean,
figure that
I can see it working, but I mean, you have to figure out the logical numbers, and you have to make it work, and you have to get the players union on board, which is, I mean, the players union is not going to be on board for that because they love the fact that these guys are getting.
Well, there might not be a players union much longer, considering who just bought the Broncos.
Well, I mean, that brings us to our next topic, right? So, the Denver Broncos. I mean, I'm wondering, are they going to rename Mile High to Sam's Club? So, all right. So
I mean, I think it's gonna have a different name every week, and they're just gonna like whatever the featured product is at Walmart that week is gonna be the name that's on the stadium.
They're gonna change the Broncos logo to a little smiley face guy from the early 2000s,
like the swish or whatever. Yeah.
All right. So what we're talking about is that Robert Walton just purchased or is in agreement to purchase the Denver Broncos. I don't think it all went through because there's a lot to go down with the contracts and stuff to make that happen.
The NFL and the owners have to agree and all that other shit. Yeah.
Right. But $4.5 billion. Walmart now owns the Denver Broncos. With that acquisition of Walmart, buying the Broncos, Russell Wilson just became the highest paid Walmart employee ever. So, we got that going for us. I wanted Tootsie to buy the Broncos too, man. I mean, we're friends with him. He could have hooked us up with some kind of job somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I mean, I just got all that money. I mean, if it's not clear from this baller sofa I've got right here.
I mean, it's your fault that your offer was only $3.5 billion.
Well, I mean, I tried to offer what it was worth. Like they were valued at like $3.8 billion or something. But again, how often does an American sports franchise,
the little smiley face thing hit the contract and made the numbers go up?
Yeah,
they didn't roll back; they went up.
You're always going to sell a sports franchise at a premium because there are so few, right?
Well, I mean, especially NFL. I mean, NFL has huge TV contracts, everything else that makes you money regardless of what goes on in the stadium.
Yes.
That's why teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars can still be profitable because of the TV contracts, right? I mean, the Jaguars, the Browns, the other crappy organizations, the Falcons, they make money from the TV contract, the exclusive rights from Amazon and all that started this season. But, I mean, I just feel sorry for the people for Denver. I mean, when they go for, there's only be one cashier at every stand.
Okay, we got to back this up. So what we're gonna do in honor of Walmart buying the Browns is we're gonna give you the top changes that are going to be coming thanks to this acquisition. So Captain, you start us off.
I already gave you a couple, right? The checkout lines at Mile High will be a mile long because there's only one cashier.
So every Walmart will now sell only Broncos merchandise.
Yeah. Let's see where we're at. The food prices won't change, but the flashy sale signs will make you think they are lower. It was now prices.
Because of the crowding out effect, all local Denver sports stadiums will be closed by 2024.
Yeah. Ooh. Now you can lay away items. For your you can lay away your refreshments in the first quarter and pick them up in the fourth.
And the new NFL policy is going to allow you to lay away points in August so you can break them out around Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, look, this can go on forever, right? We can make fun. They're not going to be they're not going to be sponsored by Nike anymore. The Walmart jerseys are not. I mean, Broncos jerseys are not being made by Nike. They're now going to be made exclusively by Champion.
Yes, and they're going to be wearing the Love and Sports activewear at practice. Yes. Look that up, ladies and gentlemen. It is beautiful. It's definitely a chick thing, but tough shit. The guys are going to be wearing it too. And of course, the best thing, more than half of all Denver Broncos players will now be made in China.
There you go. Also, this just in, Coke is no longer welcome in Mile High Stadium. It'll only be Sam's Choice.
Oh, yes, with the 20. Yes, Russell, yes. The Elway helmets were great.
I mean, the Walmart jokes pretty much make themselves up, right? I mean, I just can't. I can't wait to see the door greeters at the stadium. You know?
Are they going to be checking your receipts when you leave? Like,
did you buy that here? Did you get that hot dog here?
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to de-unionize. This is not going to go well for them.
They're all going to have their little vest on, working at Mile High. It's going to be great.
I love every direction this is going.
I mean, I used to work at Walmart, so I mean, I know there's going to be chants before every game. You know, before the store opens, they're going to have a chant in the back after a meeting. You know, they're going to spell out Broncos and go, "Yay, go Broncos!"
I mean, I wonder if you're going to be able to, through the Walmart app, be able to like order refreshments and just go pick them up at the checkout counters.
You know, that would be cool, but that's still going to take you forever to get through the line with their one cashier.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to be on her phone, not paying attention to the person in front of her.
Yes, because they're going to make even less money than they do now.
Do you think they're going to have self-checkout? Maybe the merchandise shop?
Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
Might bring self-checkout to the merchandise shop. Yeah, I mean, I just can't wait, dude. Sam's Choice, it's going to be great. I mean,
I think it'll just be something like Sam's Stadium. They can just do something simple. Or they can make a decision like the Commanders and just something really stupid.
They already did. They sold the team to the Walmart.
Well, Washington's probably the next freaking team to get sold. They're trying
I can't wait.
They're trying to force Snyder out.
I can't wait till Costco buys a team. You know, you get a little bit better quality food. It's not much better, but a little bit better. You know, some good service. Chick-fil-A, maybe Chick-fil-A will buy a team, and then they'll be
closed on Sundays.
They'll only be playing Monday and Thursday night games.
Yeah, it's just how would you do that?
But all right, I mean, look, we can go on and on with Walmart. There's a lot of jokes to be made. I do like my champion joke. I mean, that's good. I like that. I like that Russell LOL that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But yeah, I mean, so that's what we got. Baker Mayfield still hasn't been traded. He should be soon, hopefully. The Falcons and the Panthers keep calling about him. That's going to probably be a landing spot for him. Deshaun Watson will probably be suspended very soon, which means Jacoby Brissett will be the starting quarterback for the Browns. Again, I think he did this already. I'm not sure if it was him at the Browns. I think he already did. He'll be back for another season. And the Browns are going to suck for the next 30 years. I mean, we as Saint fans know how bad a trade for all your draft picks does, right? I mean, Ricky Williams, we got rid of all of our draft picks for Ricky Williams, and that did not work out well at all. So, Browns, welcome back to the suck, because you just did it to yourself. And
all right.
Russell, I hope you enjoy your Walmart vest. All right, guys. So this has been your long-awaited edition of the Fifth Down. We'll come back to you again soon. Hopefully within the next week, we'll have some more stuff to come back to you for.
We're in the summer.
To get back to some lists.
Camps and
yeah, we got camps coming up. We need to get back to our top 10 lists, all of our good little stuff that we have been putting on. But life has just been crazy for the two of us, and that's it, man. We're glad to have come to you tonight, and can't wait to see you next time. Deuces.
Good night, everybody.